Hello battlers and welcome to a Battle Spirits match between Kamen Rider Wizard and Kamen Rider 01. Wizards going first. Gate open. Kai-ho! Start step, core step, draw step, refresh step, main step. At 3 cost, Kamen Rider Beast is summoned at level 1. When summoned, discard the top 2 cards of the deck. And if there is a card with the Kamen and Dark Arts families among them, the player may draw 1 card from the bottom of the deck. Unfortunately, there isn't. Burst set and turn end. Core step, draw step, main step. At 3 cost, the Grand Walker Henshin Kamen Rider 01 is placed. Since it's the only Grand Walker of its kind on the field, core charge. The core charge requirements are cost 3 or higher, 01, Vulcan or Valkyrie. There is only 1 target, 01 Flying Falcon, so 1 core charge. Burst set, turn end. Core step, draw step, refresh step. At 3 cost, 1 reduction, 2 cost, Kamen Rider Wizard Water Style is summoned at level 1. Turn end, core, draw, refresh. At 3 cost, 1 reduction, so 2 cost, Kamen Rider 01 Rising Hopper is summoned at level 1. When summoned, move 1 core from the void to this spirit, core boost. And since it's an applicable core charge target, core charge on the Grand Walker. Turn end, core, draw, refresh. At 5 cost, 2 reductions, so 3 cost, Kamen Rider Wizard Flame Dragon is cast as a spell. Main, draw 2 cards from the deck. 1, 2. After this effect activates, either discard this card or exchange it with one of your spirits with Kamen and Dark Arts. So, Kamen Rider Wizard Water Style will now form change into Kamen Rider Wizard Flame Dragon. But at this moment, the 01 player activates their burst. Kamen Rider 01 Breaking Mammoth. This card can burst after your opponent's effect increases their hand. First, exhaust one of the opponent's spirits, so Flame Dragon is exhausted. After that, return one of your opponent's exhausted spirits to the bottom of the deck, so Flame Dragon, goodbye. With its burst effect resolved, Breaking Mammoth can now be summoned at no cost. And since it's a 01 spirit with more than 3 cost, core charge. Turn over. Core step. Draw step. Refresh. Another core is placed on Rising Hopper. Now that it has 3, it's at level 2. Burst set. Moving into the attack step, Rising Hopper attacks at level 2. At level 2, when this spirit attacks or blocks, exhaust one of your opponent's spirits. The wizard player takes the attack from the life. But with that, burst!
Set at
Kamen Rider Wizard All Dragon. This card can burst after your life decreases. First, 1 core from the void is moved to the life. During this turn, one of the opponent's spirits gets minus 12k BP, and if their BP becomes 0 by this effect, that spirit is destroyed. With 3 core, Breaking Mammoth is currently at level 2 with 10,000 BP, so with a minus 12k, it is destroyed and sent to the trash. The core returns to the reserve. The burst effect resolved, All Dragon can now be summoned at no cost. The 01 player is done, turn over. Core, draw, and refresh. Burst set. And at 3 cost, 1 reduction, 2 cost, Kamen Rider Wizard Flame Style is summoned. When summoned, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. From among them, you can move 1 red, 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 yellow spirit with Kamen and Dark Arts to your removed zone while discarding the rest. Unfortunately, there's only yellow, so Wizard Land Style is moved to the removed zone while the other cards are discarded. But at this moment, the 01 player activates their burst. Kamen Rider 01 Metal Cluster Hopper 2. This card can burst after your opponent activates a when this spirit is summoned effect. Rest as many of your opponent's spirits as you like up to a total cost of 15. And the total cost on the wizard player's field now is only 13, so all of their spirits can now be exhausted. After the burst effect resolves, Metal Cluster Hopper is summoned at no cost, placing all the core on it. Unable to attack, the wizard player ends their turn. Core step, draw step, and refresh step. Setting a burst, At 3 cost, 1 reduction, so 2 cost, paying with 1 core from the reserve and 1 from Metal Cluster Hopper. Kamen Rider 01, Rising Hopper is once again summoned. When summoned, move 1 core from the void to this spirit, and since it's an applicable spirit, the Grand Walker 01 core charges. And apologies, I just realized I forgot the core charge for the earlier Metal Cluster Hopper that was summoned by Burst as well, so let me give an additional core charge right now. And now, during the main step, change! Kamen Rider 01 Metal Cluster Hopper. Metal Cluster Hopper's change effect is 5 cost with 3 reductions, so only 2 cost. Taken off of the other Metal Cluster Hopper. Discard all the cards in your hand. The 01 player only has one card to discard. Diamond Wall. If you discarded at least 1 card by this effect, draw 1 card for each card in your opponent's hand. And currently, the Wizard player has 5 cards in hand, so the 01 player gets to replenish their hand back to 5. After the change effect is used, this card is either discarded or you can exchange it with one of your cost 6 or lower 01 spirits. And since Rising Hopper is only cost 3, changing form into Metal Cluster Hopper. But this now activates the lower Rising Hopper's effect. After you activate a change effect of a Kamen card, you can rebirth this spirit. So now, rebirth! Changing form from Rising Hopper to the other side, Shining Hopper! Once per turn, when this spirit rebirths or attacks, you can send 1 opposing exhausted spirit to the bottom of the deck. So with that, All Dragon is sent to the bottom of the heap. Now, some core is moved around such that the upper Metal Cluster Hopper is at level 2. Moving into the attack step, Metal Cluster Hopper 2 attacks. At level 2, when this spirit attacks, return as many of your opponent's exhausted spirits to the bottom of the deck as you like, up to a maximum cost of 15. Since both Wizard and Beast are only cost 3 each, both of them are returned to the bottom of the deck. Flash timing, 5 cost, Magic. Strike Wizard. During this turn, one of your opponent's spirits gets minus 12k BP, and if it reaches 0, it is destroyed. Shining Hopper is currently at level 1 with only 6k BP, so it is chosen as the target of the effect and destroyed. Flipped back and sent to the trash. The Wizard player takes Metal Cluster Hopper's attack from the life. But with that, burst! Kamen Rider Wizard All Dragon again. As usual, recovery from the void, one of the opponent's spirits gets minus 12k. The target is the Metal Cluster that just attacked. At level 2 it only has 10k BP, so it is destroyed by this effect and sent to the trash. And with that, the burst is resolved, so All Dragon is summoned at no cost. Currently, the remaining Metal Cluster on the field is at level 1 with 7k BP, while All Dragon with 2 core is at level 2 with 9k, so it would be a pretty bad idea to continue attacking. And with that, the 01 player ends their turn. Core step, draw step, refresh step. At 4 cost, 1 reduction, so 3 cost, the Brave, the Wizard Sword Gun is summoned. Direct Brave to Wizard All Dragon. This gives All Dragon an additional 3k BP and a bonus effect when it attacks. Attack step. Wizard All Dragon attacks while being equipped with the Wizard Sword Gun. Flash timing. Wizard Sword Gun's effect. While braved, when this spirit attacks, all of the cost 6 or lower magic cards in your hand or remove zone that have both Kamen and Dark Arts can be cast for only 1 cost. So paying 1 cost off of Wizard All Dragon, Magic! Kamen Rider Wizard Water Style. During this turn, one of your Kamen and Dark Art spirits is treated as being at its highest level. The target is All Dragon, so until the end of the turn, All Dragon, no matter how much core it has on it, is treated as being level 3. Now, usually this would be the end of Water Style's effect as a magic card, but since All Dragon is now level 3, its effect activates. At levels 2 and 3, whenever you use a magic card with Kamen and Dark Arts, if that card is also a spirit card, you can summon it at no cost. So Water Style is now summoned to the field at no cost. The 01 player has no flash, back to Wizard, flash timing! Using the same effects again, but this time casting Kamen Rider Wizard Hurricane Dragon for 1 cost. Exhaust one of your opponent's spirits, so Metal Cluster Hopper, the only blocker currently on the opponent's field, is now exhausted. And thanks to All Dragon, Hurricane Dragon is now summoned as well at no cost. The 01 player still refuses to act, back to Wizard, flash timing! Once again, paying 1 cost, this time from off of Water Style, Kamen Rider Wizard, Land Dragon is cast. Target one of your spirits with Kamen and Dark Arts during this turn. If it were to leave the field due to an opponent's effect, you can have it remain on the field in exhaust state instead. The target chosen is All Dragon, giving it some removal immunity, and again, thanks to All Dragon's level 3 effect, Land Dragon is summoned at no cost, taking 1 core from Water Style. With this, All Dragon is currently attacking for 2 damage because it has an additional symbol from the Wizard Sword Gun, and if you include the remaining 3 attacks from the other forms, that's a total of 5 damage, which will mean 0-1 will instantly lose the game if all 4 of these attacks go through. And obviously they are not going to let that happen, so flash timing! The 0-1 Grand Walker's Grand Skill. During either player's attack step, by sending 3 core from this Grand Walker back into the void, you can heavy exhaust one of your opponent's spirits, and the target chosen is Hurricane Dragon. With this, neither player has any more cards to play, so the 0-1 player takes All Dragon's attack from the life, losing 2 life in a single blow. The Wizard player chooses to continue attacking, this time with Wizard Water Style. Neither player has any responses, so the 0-1 player takes the attack from the life, leaving them with only 2 life remaining. And with that, the Wizard player finally ends their turn. Core Step, Draw Step, and Refresh Step. Man, the 0-1 player has a lot of core to try and turn things around this turn. First, at 3 cost, 1 reduction, so 2 cost. The Nexus Satellite Zaya is deployed. When deployed, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You can add 1 Izu and 1 0-1 card from among them to the hand, so now 0-1 in his base form is added to the hand. The remaining cards are discarded. Now for 1 cost, the Grand Walker, the Hidden Intelligence CEO Secretary Izu will now be deployed. Just like Hinshin 0-1, she is also a Grand Walker, and since she's the only one of her kind currently on the field, core charge. The targets are any Kamen cost 5 or higher spirit, or any 0-1 Vulcan or Valkyrie spirit. Unfortunately, another copy of Izu and an Attach Caliber is a Brave. There is only 1 target, so core charge 1 only. Now at 3 cost, 1 reduction, 2 cost, Kamen Rider 0-1, Rising Hoppers back onto the field, and when summoned, as usual, 1 core from the void to this spirit. And it is a core charge target for both Hinshin 0-1 and Izu, so both of them core charge. Oops, and I forgot that when Attach Caliber is sent to the trash by the effect of a green Grand Walker Nexus, it can be added to the hand, so just now since it was sent to the trash by Izu's core charge, it is returned to the hand. Now at 3 cost, 1 reduction, so 2 cost, Kamen Rider 0-1 is summoned at level 1. When this copy of 0-1 is summoned, you also get to core boost. And if your hand is at 3 cards or less, you get to perform a search as well, but unfortunately the 0-1 player currently has 5 cards in hand. Now some core from the reserve is placed such that Rising Hopper below becomes level 2, and 0-1 above becomes level 2 as well. And Metal Cluster Hopper is also increased to 3 core, making it level 2. And sorry, I forgot a core charge for the upper 0-1, so I'll now do so for both Izu and Hinshin 0-1. Now moving into the attack step, Kamen Rider 0-1 Rising Hopper attacks. At level 2, when this spirit attacks or blocks, exhaust 1 opposing spirit, so Land Dragon is now exhausted. And with that, the 0-1 player takes the flash timing. Change! Kamen Rider 0-1 Shining Assault Hopper. The change effect is 6 cost with 3 reductions, so 3 cost. All of the core from Metal Cluster Hopper is played, and since it has no core left, it is depleted. Exhaust 3 of your opponent's spirits and ultimates, but all of the spirits on the wizard player's field are now exhausted, so it doesn't matter. And during this turn, the core on your opponent's exhausted spirits cannot be less than 1. So what this means is, currently the wizard player, all of their spirits are exhausted and all only have 1 core. Since their core cannot become less than 1, the wizard player is not allowed to take the core from on top of their spirits and use it to cast like spells or like make any other moves in response to the 0-1 player's attack. So effectively, they now have 0 core. After this change effect resolves, Shining Assault Hopper is either discarded or exchanged with one of your cost 6 or lower Kamen spirits in the refresh state. So of course now, Rising Hopper will form change into Shining Assault Hopper! And since it exchanges in the refresh state, it basically gets a free untap as well. So now the attack is still continuing, just that the attacker has switched from Rising Hopper into Shining Assault Hopper. The wizard player has nothing to play in response, he takes the damage from the life. And now, continuing with the attack step, Shining Assault Hopper attacks. Since it has 3 core, it is currently at level 2, at levels 2 and 3 when this spirit attacks. This spirit gains 1 green symbol for each of your opponent's exhausted spirits or ultimates. Which means that for each exhausted spirit on the opponent's field, Shining Assault Hopper does 1 additional damage. So currently, there are 4 exhausted wizards on the wizard player's field. That means Shining Assault Hopper is attacking with 5 damage. And with only 1 usable core in their reserve, is there anything the wizard player can do? At 3 cost, 2 reductions, so only 1 cost, the magic card, Kamen Rider Wizard Land Style is played from the remove zone. The effect is this: Flash. During this turn, one of your opponent's spirit symbols becomes 0. And the target, of course, is Shining Assault Hopper. So no matter what the 0-1 player does to this Shining Assault Hopper for the rest of this turn, whether they change its form or whatever, it can only do 0 symbols worth of damage, which is 0 damage. Unfortunately, All Dragon currently only has 1 core on it, so it's only level 1, so the player is not allowed to summon Land Style for free. So it basically just goes to the trash as a used up magic card. So now Shining Assault Hopper is still in the middle of attacking with 0 damage, but it looks like the 0-1 player ain't done yet. Flash timing. Change. From the hand, Kamen Rider 01, Shining Assault Hopper! 6 cost, 3 reductions, so 3 cost. All of the cost is paid from the currently attacking Shining Assault Hopper, so it is depleted and destroyed. The attack basically misfires. The same change effect applies as just now. There are no more spirits to exhaust on the wizard player's field. And now, form change between the current cost 3 0-1 on the field and the currently played Shining Assault Hopper. The attack step resumes. The 0-1 player attacks with Shining Assault Hopper and the same effect. At levels 2 and 3, when this spirit attacks, it gains an additional symbol for each of the opponent's exhausted spirits or ultimates. So now its power rises to 5 damage. The wizard player has nothing left to use. They take the attack from the life. And with that, all 4 of their remaining life is instantly crushed and sent to the reserve. The match is over, and the winner is Kamen Rider 01. Hope you guys enjoyed this match, and I'll see you guys in the next Battle Spirits video.